Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Canadian Dota League. I am Stamos Lives. With me, as always, is my good buddy 3PO. 3PO, are you there today?
I am.
Excellent. Are you dying?
I'm actually just recently back from the dead. The international was fantastic, but the one thing that I seem to have acquired is some sort of case of influenza while I was there. I'm going to blame the Chinese. It's not their fault, but there were 9 of their teams there, and proportionally, I would say that was probably what happened.
That could be something that you could do, but
we all know it was actually the Swedes.
I would think that would be SARS that you would get
Possibly.
in that case.
Well, I am from around the Toronto area, so that makes sense.
As 3PO mentioned, 3PO and I were both at the International 3 2 weeks ago, and it was fantastic. We had an absolute blast. We'll definitely be talking about that a little bit here. But tonight is Titanic Tuesday, one of our favorite nights where we're going to jump into a random match. We're going to watch some people play just in the natural environment of the scary world of public matches, where we get to see different builds and whether or not they fail or not, and just have a good old time. Good old time.
Yeah.
Got one that's already in pregame, and some people have chosen heroes. So I'm going to jump into that real fast here, see if that's a good one for us. So, International 3. Goodness gracious.
That final match was fantastic. If you haven't watched it already, we won't spoil it. Of course we will spoil it for you. Like, really, Alliance, what an incredible play. Split pushing top and bottom as Na'Vi tries to push down that middle lane, and putting Na'Vi just in an unwinnable position. It was incredible.
Well, and you're talking specifically about the final match of final matches, right?
That's right, yeah.
And what was fantastic about that particular game was the choice of Templar Assassin. I mean, we hadn't seen Templar Assassin in days. The match has literally just started. If you follow me in here, it's going to be a really good one. There's already a little bit of combat going on with Windrunner placing a ward and getting attacked by a vicious Rubik. And that's funny, I say he's vicious. His name is actually Sid Vicious.
Oh,
so
fair enough.
Didn't even plan for that.
Speaking of other people back from the dead.
Indeed. He resurrected as Rubik. So, anyway, the Templar Assassin choice I thought was just a great choice. Hadn't seen her in a long time. She's such a fun hero. You know, we see her quite often on both Titanic Tuesday and Wednesday Night Teamfight, so I thought it was surprising we hadn't seen her until then. And when Na'Vi pulled her out, it was just, I was in awe. I was so excited to actually see, especially Dindy play Templar Assassin, and he played her so well, but there were so many small mistakes in that match, you know?
Absolutely, and it was one of those things where, I think the turning point was actually not that final push, but actually
Roshan.
that Roshan, where Dandy really was committed to taking that Rosh and ended up losing it. It's just one of those things where I don't know that I would have done any differently, but I think it was the fatal moment. So mid lane we've got Puck up against Storm Spirit. This feels very familiar. We've got Windrunner and Morph bottom lane with Rubik and Naga Siren. Up top, Enigma. We've seen a lot of Enigma over the last couple of days, and Earthshaker against Ricky and Weaver.
Yeah, it looks like there's a tri-lane going on down bottom against Windrunner. She's going to be in a little bit of trouble here unless she can try to eke out a little bit of farm. Although they're pushing kind of hard, so she may actually still have it if she doesn't push out too far. But up top, it's only a double lane, and actually Ricky's in a lot of trouble right now. Weaver's coming in.
But there's that stun from Ricky and a stun from Earthshaker, but Ricky has actually been locked in, manages to get away. That's a tough play there, with Shikuchi just managing to get Weaver straight out of trouble there.
Yeah, that fish shore was a nice little stun. The pink mist, not really stunning, but it does put that silence up, which makes it so he can't Shikuchi, and I think he can't attack in there too. It puts up a mist that prevents him from hitting as much. It's like a 40% or so miss rate starting out.
Hit and a mist, if you will.
Indeed. That's an aggressive Weaver to start out with.
Good stuff. Well, let's take a quick look at the gold graph right off the bat. And 2 minutes in, not a whole lot to
Heavy
see.
for the Dire there. The Dire's doing a fantastic job, and a big part of that is the tri-lane, right? You've got this tri-lane that's not... It's kind of starved, actually. I think...
And Weaver might actually be in a bit of trouble there. We've got a Sentry Ward now. He's out of range of that Sentry Ward, so he's just waiting, looking to hide, but there's really not much he can do. There's that pink mist again,
Wow.
Fisher. And there is
clutch
first blood.
done. Yeah, that was a clutch Fissure right there by Earthshaker. Ricky was just about to drop. I thought he was going to be a goner there.
I think that Weaver may be a little less bold now, knowing that they've got, or hopefully knowing that they've got a Sentry Ward up top.
Definitely, definitely. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, if you are watching us, keep in mind that both of us are a little bit still in the ill category. I believe 3PO has a nasty cough, and I am definitely stuffed up. But if you will forgive that, we should still be able to provide you with an awesome cast tonight.
If you won't forgive that, well, I'm just going to cry myself to sleep tonight.
You were going to do that regardless.
Probably. With his lovely bass voice, who wouldn't?
I can't even fall asleep, so at
Right.
least you have that of me.
And there is Enigma with his Soul Ring at 4 minutes. Now, this is kind of interesting, actually. They were...
Hate to interrupt you just real fast, I'm sorry. In the middle, Storm Spirit managed to get an awesome kill on Puck, sucked him in real quick using his electric vortex, and right at the right time put up that static remnant, got the kill on Puck. So, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead. You're talking
Who wasn't
about...
watching? This guy wasn't watching. I was just saying that there was an interesting thread on Reddit the other day where EGM has claimed that you should be fairly reliably able to hit level 6 by 4 minutes and 20 seconds on Enigma. And now this Enigma, level 5, not quite there yet, but some confirmation of that from folks there on Reddit.
They have like a timing in which... and I've noticed that he doesn't have the ability to pull this medium lane, so he's mostly pulling from the big lanes. That may have something to do with it. He's trying to take on some stronger lanes there. Weaver being aggressive again. Rubik up here to help him out. And this may not work out for him. We'll see. He's stuck right now. Earthshaker
But in comes
slams
Nagasiren.
him.
There's that
Stuck
Fisher.
in. I didn't see... Was there a Fisher that was kicked out? I know that he used his... Oh yeah, he did use Fisher. You're right.
Oh.
It was just, for some reason, the graphic kind of went strange for me.
It's that time. Time for a new computer.
No, it's just that it didn't show. But I think I may not have been looking at the right thing.
And there is Ricky jumping straight in. There's that Fisher again, knocking Rubik down. He's wandering into the trees. Earthshaker coming straight in. And he's leading them on a merry chase, but Ricky's really got that backstab, and it's over.
Yep. That blink strike, too, is just, there's no way to get away from Ricky. And he's level 6 now, so this is exactly where the Dire wants to be. Ricky can now leave this lane without the Radiant knowing. Go around and just start farming.
Storm Spirit showing some nice mobility there, getting out of that lockdown from Nagasiren.
Up top, we've got a dropped Earthshaker.
Looks like an aggressive Weaver. Kind of handy to have on your side. So let's take a quick look at some item builds here and see what everybody's going after.
Sure. Anybody in particular you want to take a look at?
Nobody in particular. Everybody in particular.
Okay, alright, sweet. We'll start up top with Earthshaker, who just teleported in. He does have a Smoke of Deceit, so he's looking to do a couple of team plays. I'm wondering if maybe he's with the Ricky. They have really good communication, so I'm guessing that they're possibly playing together. Ricky just kind of has basic stuff right now, Power Treads and Wraith Band, looking to just kind of build his items at this point. I think he just finished his boots. And Weaver has the Ring of Basilius. Note that it is off. The aura is inactive, which is great. You don't want that aura to be active. Rubik just has some support items, nothing really specific or anything. Oh, let's try to find Enigma. You noted that he had a soul ring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably all he's got at this point. I don't even see where he's at.
There's a Ring of Regen in there, and he's picked up some wards as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to finish a mech, possibly.
Yeah, there's that headdress recipe as well, so probably a wise choice. Carrying a TP, good boy.
Windrunner farming these Ancients down below. And not doing a terrible job of it. She is level 4. See something real fast here. Let's take a look at last hits. She doesn't really have a lot of last hits, so I think that a lot of her farm has come from attacking these ancients here. She's really using that quelling blade to fight through the trees, because she's definitely not getting any farm from this tri-lane down bottom. Well, it's no longer a tri-lane, but it was a tri-lane there for a bit. Naga Siren, just some, not even support items, just a little bit of some potions, trying to feed Morphling as much as possible.
There's Earthshaker locked down with that Dream Coil. We're going to see Ricky tossed up, and Earthshaker will drop.
Ricky's in trouble too now. The dust is out on him. Enigma comes in with a black hole. Excellent black hole. Manages to catch both Rubik and Puck in it. Weaver is still alive here, though. And he decides to not press the issue, not go for Ricky. Probably a good choice, low on mana. And that's a nice little 2-for-1 for the Dire there.
Tasty little kill.
Indeed. Morphling just picked up his boots, it looks like, and they both have teleport scrolls, but they haven't actually entered the fight yet. We'll see how this works out. Rubik did not really get a lot of farm, or any farm at all, and is low in experience. Naga Siren's kind of in the same position. Windrunner trying to eke out some kills on these Ancients here.
Right now, though, Morphling with 57 last hits, the closest next being Enigma. It's a bit of a runaway train at the moment.
You notice how Windrunner attacking these creeps down here, she's standing on top of the cliff. It's really kind of cool to watch, actually, because they can't get to her.
We've seen a couple of strategies like that. In addition, the strategy of being able to do that over on the Radiant side here.
That's correct, yeah. It was a member of Navi. I can't remember his name at the top of my head.
I want to say it was Kuroki, but off the top of my
head. It was not Kuroki. No, it was the other guy who plays a lot of support, though. That's why I can't remember his name.
Puppy?
No, well, I guess Puppy does play a lot of support, but it wasn't Puppy either.
Okay.
I guess he plays mostly ganking heroes in the solo type, so I'm wrong in my analysis there of what he plays.
And this is kind of fun here. That's Earthshaker catching Rubik, wandering through the jungle with some illusions that Fisher right out, telekinesis, and it was a slap fight that didn't end well for the mage with the most.
Well, speaking of another slap fight, so Ricky and Weaver were going at it back and forth. Ricky almost had Weaver on the ropes there. The puck came up just in time, locked him down, threw out the dust, and managed to get that kill on Ricky. Doing a good job of keeping Ricky down. You know, Ricky at this point could probably go and start wandering. Definitely go and kill Naga Siren.
Seems like it would be a less predictable approach than running his head up against the wall that is Puck and Weaver up top. Speaking of which, they're going to come down and take a quick look at that middle tower, see what they can do about defending it.
You'll notice Ricky really doesn't have a lot of farm, especially versus that Weaver. He's only had about 18 creep kills, whereas Weaver has literally doubled that amount.
Storm Spirit coming straight in on Puck, who will dash away, but still manages to get caught out. Nice dodge there from Storm Spirit, but it looks like the teleport will come not in time for Enigma.
No, too much damage getting kicked out there.
Yeah.
Really dangerous move, too, with a Morphling, Rubik, and Naga Siren around. All of these people who can actually control you. A single net, he's staying in place either way.
It's kind of interesting because that lane was rather empty, and you had both Weaver and Puck sort of wander down from top, Rubik come in from the bottom, Naga Siren and Morph come in from bottom lane, and just nobody seemed aware of it. Again, they
made a desperate push for that tower, right? And just didn't have enough gusto to push it down.
Speaking of a show of force, we've got some smoked up folks here, and they're kind of come straight in on Puck. It looks like there is that net out on Storm Spirit, preventing him from getting away.
Ooh, looks Puck really taking massive damage there from Storm Spirit.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of disorganization here on the part of the Dire, but it doesn't seem like that matters too much. Good shackle out from Windrunner.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic
And
play
there's
there.
that Fisher. Look at this.
That's a 3 kill. Yeah.
Yeah. I said disorganized, but
Oh yeah,
as messy as it looked, it worked.
it was really good, and it actually gave Windrunner a lot of farm there too. Not farm, that's the wrong word. It gave her some experience that she needed. That's what I should say. Mostly gave Storm Spirit the farm. Really good black hole there by Enigma, though, catching out Morphling, preventing him from getting away. Want to kill those carries quickly, right?
Well, it's one of those things where, you'd usually like to catch as many people as you could in a black hole, but even just locking down one important foe
At this
make
point
a
in the
real
game,
difference.
absolutely. I mean, look at Morphling. He's got 81 kills at this point on creeps. That's a huge amount of gold. I mean, this guy's rich at this point. He's sitting on 1,700 gold after being ganked. He still hasn't bought, the item that he's going for. So, guessing he's saving for something.
And there's Puck, and he's got that delicious dust of appearance again. He knows he's probably being hunted right now.
Well, and the Dire coming in, and Rubik is just kind of sitting here. So, yeah, there he goes. Puck's now in a lot of trouble as well.
Tries to make a getaway. That Fisher catching him just at the end there. He will phase shift, but no such luck.
Not enough, and Enigma just purchased the mechanism too, so they have a really, really strong push team here, and they are incredibly farmed.
Weaver will take that top tower.
Both teams here have a lot of control. It's interesting. I think that the Radiant team has a stronger team towards the end of the game, if it lasts that long. I don't feel like Storm Spirit is as powerful as a Morphling towards later part in the game, right? And same with Weaver. Weaver is just incredibly, incredibly strong late game. So they're going to have to push really hard here and take advantage of the fact that they're so far ahead.
Let's take a quick look at that gold graph again.
Comes another suck in here. And so I think we're going to see Weaver drop. We definitely do. In fact, Rubik drops as well. Excellent fish shore out and a lockdown before Weaver can get away. And they have that Sentry ward out. Really, really solid warding by the Dire here.
Very aggressive warding as well.
Incredibly aggressive, and it's great. It's exactly what they need to do to shut that Weaver down. I mean, Weaver's already sitting on a Perseverance here, so he's already spent a hefty amount on a fairly expensive item.
And they're all just dancing around middle lane.
Yeah, they've got that tower to half health, so not a bad push with a double kill involved there. Here's an engagement going on. Rubik once again caught, and Sid Vicious was viciously torn apart by Windrunner and Storm Spirit.
Up top lane, Morphling decided to teleport up, looking for Ricky. Ricky has found him, and looks like it might not turn out so well for Ricky now, as Morphling turns to fight with a teleport in from Naga Siren and Puck.
Yeah, it was a smart decision to run there. That's better get out, although they are kind of leaving him now, and he's healed up, so he may actually be...
And there he goes, re-engaging, and oh!
Wow, Naga Siren comes in with the save.
That's a good sign. And we'll see the dust of appearance. We'll see him pinned down.
Oh, he gets the kill on... No,
he doesn't.
Wow. That was close. Morphling is incredibly hard to kill anyway. He's able to teleport back to his image if he has one up. Like, he's got that Naga Siren up top, so he's going to go down, heal in the well, and he'll be able to pop right back up again.
Meanwhile, Enigma continues to farm away in the jungle. So let's take a look at those items again. Let's see where people are going. So we got some phase boots on Windrunner. Always nice to have a little bit more mobility. Blink Dagger on Earthshaker, helping him to put himself in better position for those fishers. Enigma with that mechanism, as you said earlier. He's got an Ogre Club. Where's he going with that?
Well, and going back to Enigma, you're talking about Enigma here? Or
yeah,
who?
Enigma, yeah.
Oh, he's going for a Black King Bar. That's the most important item for Enigma. If he does not have a BKB, he will be interrupted every single time he goes to use that black hole, and they have a really interrupt-heavy team on the other side. In fact, I believe every character with the exception of Weaver has an interrupt that they can cast. So you have to have a Black King bar for that mid to late game Black Hole.
And that's because Black Hole is a channeled spell.
That's correct, yes. Let's see, who else here? Earthshaker going super supporty. Has that Blink Dagger already also, and some Arcane Boots. And he's doing a fantastic job of supporting, by the way. I love a good Earthshaker. Teleporting in, slamming down, getting some stuns kicked out. Really, really fun to watch that. Ricky, I think, is going for his the Mana Blade. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, we got a fight going on here. Morphling pulled by Storm Spirit, gets pulled back into the crowd and is taking a ton of damage here. He manages to drop. Puck had dropped as well, taking some other damage there from Earthshaker and Enigma.
And there goes Rubik. Enigma looked hungry for that one, but Windrunner managing to get the kill. Meanwhile, Weaver just kind of hanging out in the forest, waiting for an opportunity to go in. Tough to do on 5 of them there.
Yeah, he would die incredibly fast. Looks as if Ricky's going to go on a hunt, but I don't think he's going to find him.
No, smart move by Enigma, not by Weaver there, to send the swarm in, then Shikuchi away.
Yep. At this point, the Radiant team's going to defend up, and they can actually try to push against them. Defense is really the strongest thing to do here. In fact, here comes Puck locking them down. We're going to see an engagement. Weaver drops incredibly fast, though. Black Hole out on nobody, and he gets stunned. And I think we're going to see...
There's that net, and we'll see Morphling come in. We'll see him try to get away, but Enigma may be in a bit of trouble here. We'll see the Surge. That will catch both Enigma and Ricky. And the Radiant does push back.
Yeah, that was Ricky trying to save Enigma there with the Force Staff. Did I say Windrunner, right? I was hoping I said Windrunner. Okay, I meant Windrunner.
Yeah.
Not Ricky. I said it and I was like, that's wrong. I said something wrong. So a nice attempt to save, but just taking way too much damage, and of course that Siren Net just locks you down from everything. It's nasty. So, not able to get away. And that's what Radiant team needs to do at this point. Strong defenses, not engage in team fights. They're losing their team fights at this point. Try to get some solid kills on overextensions by the Dire team.
Bit of a tough challenge, though, when they're pushing into your base, is finding that pick-off and being able to extract some out of there. Storm Spirit coming straight in on Weaver, and there's really just, locks him down. There's no chance. No Shikuchi, no nothing.
Yeah, that Weaver does not have enough hit points at this point to really survive. He's dying incredibly fast, and Storm Spirit has so much damage. And what's awesome is that Orchid Malevolence just shuts Weaver down so hard. If you are ever anybody going against a Weaver, if you can get that Orchid... and it makes sense for your character, definitely get it, because it just shuts them down if you have that massive burst damage that Storm Spirit has.
So we're going to Blink Dagger up on Puck, making things a little bit easier for him to get around.
Double damage picked up by Storm Spirit. That's going to come into play here in just a couple of seconds, I'm guessing. Well, you may not even actually need to use it against Rubik.
Morphling, just a bit earlier, put the Fear of God into Enigma as he came after him and then popped back to one of his images while chipping away at him. Enigma seemed a little lost in the forest for just a moment.
Yeah, I think we're going to see possibly a Puck drop here. He's going in with that double damage.
Yeah, he wants somebody, doesn't he?
Decides against it. He's got these images against him.
And something was stolen. What was stolen there? Let's take a quick look.
The ultimate. There you go. Ricky picked up the Diffusal Blade. Diffusal Blade is Ricky's bread and butter item, allowing him to get some nasty, nasty ganks, especially on caster heroes. Rubik and Naga Siren and Puck are all in a lot of trouble from that Ricky at this point in the game, if he manages to catch them alone.
So with the entire Dire team coming down on this top tower, it looks like it's going to melt like an ice cream cone in the middle of July, but the glyph is out, giving them just a bit of time. Meanwhile, Morphling's bottom lane, it looks like the Radiant may make a stand up top here. Maybe not. Smokescreen being stolen at this point, but it's really not going to do him a whole lot of good. It looks like it might have been better off with that ball lightning. We'll see the Siren Song come out to see if she can save Weaver. Morphelin ready to go, and
Ooh,
comes straight
a
in with
lot
that
of choking
surge.
damage
Yeah.
picked out. And once again, another black hole miss by the Enigma, just completely missing everybody, actually.
And it looks like they will continue to pick up Morphling.
Ooh.
And Windrunner wants
Yeah,
Puck,
Puck,
and
right?
she'll catch him with the shackle shot, but
so
that
close.
he'll phase shift just in time.
Ricky being very, very brave, but he's going to die for it. Here it comes. There's the kill. Yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistaken dive there. What could have been a really good push was a huge mistake on Ricky's part on jumping in there. And this is the thing. This game may look like it's in the hole. It may look like the Dire actually has this. They are doing a fantastic job of pushing, which is exactly what they need to do. But remember, that Morphling and that Weaver, if they get farmed, it's going to be a whole nother game.
I hear you, but right now I think that Rubik is really causing some problems for the Radiant because he's really just not spending a whole lot of time positioning himself. He's usually out front in fights. He's the first one to drop, and at that point it's a 5-on-4.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the Dire team doesn't have any weak players, right? But even the Windrunner is just throwing out awesome stuns and getting some great assist kills here. So you're definitely right about that. The Rubik is going way far ahead and really needs to be more conservative in his gameplay.
Personally, I'm a little surprised that a guy named Sid Vicious would be acting like a punk. We'll leave it there.
And no, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
And here goes the Dire with our first Roche of the game.
And our first Roshan since the International 3. We saw tons of them. I mean, this is what pro players live for, is going for Roshan as soon as possible. Did you notice that? Every time. And there's always wording on it. The other team always knows Roshan is being attempted. Almost always knows. Actually, but that's not even the number one lesson that we learned, though, is it? The number one lesson was... Do you remember?
Don't let Alchemist and Anti-Mage get free farm.
Yes! Yes! Number one lesson. I mean, in Anti-Mage, he's a little hard. You can still box him out of a lane, but he's hard to actually kind of gank sometimes. But Alchemist?
We saw no less than 4 matches, and there goes Weaver after a quick ball lightning from Storm Spirit, a Blinken from Puck, and Storm Spirit's now in a bit of trouble. Popped up by Rubik, nicely done with the telekinesis, but there's that Aegis burned right away.
Yeah, this is great. This is exactly what Storm Spirit should be doing. I really love somebody who uses that Aegis. Getting that team fight to go on, being incredibly aggressive. I think we're going to see Morphling drop here. There he goes.
And Ricky will finish himself off. Rubik is falling. Black hole for nobody. And the tower just chipping away at Storm Spirit and Windrunner here.
No black hole out yet. That was a oh gosh, what's that AoE call that he has? The Midnight Pulse.
Was it Midnight Pulse?
Yeah.
I saw it on the corner of my screen. I apologize.
Yep. No. It's okay. Now his black hole is up, so he should be using it soon.
And whoa!
That's funny. Storm Spirit, he cast that spell before Naga Siren actually came up. Puck ran into the ability and...
That's lasagna.
Yeah, don't get any on ya. Morphling is back, though, and incredibly angry at Storm Spirit, though. I don't think
they continue to chase him down. Looks like Naga Siren not able to get that net off on Windrunner, but they will take Enigma.
And see, already this Morphling is getting pretty swole, and he has that Lincoln Sphere. Just so much farm on this Morphling. 174 creep kills.
Could this be a total eclipse of the heart sort of thing? Turn around?
I think that if he got the heart, that would be a much better thing to say. Until that, I don't get the relevance.
Well, let's see. He's turning the match around. Was where I was going with it.
Total eclipse of the heart of Tarask.
Well, that works. You know.
Buy that one
for $1.
Probably 2.
All right, let's take a quick look at the XP graph here as we follow young Morph around.
Very, very much in favor of the Dire, but definitely heading back towards the Radiant side. There is a fight going on, and Earthshaker, a little bit overextended without even really knowing it, manages to drop to Morphling and a Puck combination there. And this is not what the the Dire wants to do at this point. They really need to shut Morphling down. He's getting lots of farm. He's pretty scary. He has right now 166 plus 182 damage because of his double damage.
We're starting to see what the Radiant was doing to the Dire earlier, of teaming up and getting a 4-on-3 or a 4-on-2 happening to the Radiant, where Storm Spirit comes in on the entire Radiant team, and while he's still dishing out a lot of damage, manages to find himself finished off.
Yep. He definitely overextended there. Didn't wait for his team. Kind of jumped in, and if they're not careful, that sort of behavior from Storm Spirit will lose them this game. Especially, I don't think Enigma. Yeah, Enigma's still not close to that BKB. I mean, that's huge. Smoke and Deceit purchase. They may try to go for a gank here. Although his inventory's full, so he can't really do anything with it right now.
Bit of a trade-off here. What's going in the bag? Manta style out on Morph now, and making him all the more menacing.
Yeah, the true Sid Vicious of this match, right?
Absolutely.
He is going to be nasty. Nasty. And it's going to give time for Weaver to farm here. Weaver's already sitting at around 1,300 gold. The Radiant team is not pushing because they're afraid of that Morphling, I feel. They have one more Tier 1 tower, but they couldn't even approach it with the Aegis. And I think some of that was Storm Spirit jumping in a little bit too soon without his team. It
did seem like the previous victories of the game were fueling a bit of hubris.
And Puck has a level 2 Dagon right now. That's he can get nasty in his own right. Puck is nasty in his own right.
And this may actually be a decent strategy. Send Storm Spirit in where they're expecting him to kind of come in alone. But Puck right now caught out. Still a lot of mobility on this guy. Locking him down should be kind of fun. Let's see what happens.
I don't think Puck is caught.
He's
is
not
he?
there. No.
No, these are just images.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I got caught on that. And pop.
Yeah, I don't think they have anything to actually smoke gank here.
Yep, pop, puddin' pop. Sorry, fam.
Radiant team, the Dire team. Goodness, I keep getting those two mixed up. The Dire team at this point, or specifically maybe Storm Spirit, should really be going for a Scythe of Ice. I think that would be a significant advantage to their team to help them in this mid to late game push where Morphling and Weaver are getting out of control. I don't really see Storm Spirit actually. He went for the Bloodstone, which is always a great item to have on him. He's not going to run out of mana in these fights, but at this point he needs to focus his farm less on surviving for himself and more on actually...
And we may see a courier kill here. As these images come in and do their best to finish him off.
They weren't even paying attention. Just about happened. That poor little mule. They heal up so fast, though. It used to be, I think, a long time ago that jungle creeps would attack the courier.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think I remember that happening briefly during the alpha or the beta or something like that. It was kind of annoying.
Morphling now pushing that top tower as the entire Dire team is pushing bot. We're going to see if that's going to provoke a reaction. Not sure if it will, though.
Yeah, no defense thus far.
No, it looks like he's going to knock that tower down before they can actually engage the tower on this side. He may be able to push that T3 before they can even end up engaging this T2.
Indeed. And they're doing a really good job of knocking... Although here goes Rubik again, right? Just jumping right in there. Yep. But yeah, he's starting on the Tier 3. And, I don't know if any of these guys actually have teleport scrolls on. Ricky doesn't. Windrunner has a teleport scroll. And she does have a Scythe of Ice. I just noticed that. But it's going to be too late. That tower drops, and we're going to have a Rax here on the Dire team.
So this is the same sort of thing that we saw in that final match with TI3, where you've got somebody pushing while you think you can make a play, and really just not a lot you can do, and you're going to lose, at the very least, your melee Rax, but Morph actually coming straight back in, turning it back around on Earthshaker. He's going to blink straight into his fountain, almost getting him there with the Fisher.
just seconds, like feet, inches away from being able to hit.
And meanwhile, the Dire will take that bottom T2.
I'm showing my Americanism. It was centimeters away.
There you go. We'll forgive you this time. Anybody asks me, I'm 5'10". I'm not 178.
Do you do it based off centimeters?
Centimeters, yeah. 1.8 meters.
Interesting.
My license says I'm 6 feet tall. It's a filthy lie.
You did that, of course, so you could get married.
No, I told them I said I'm 5'10", 5'11" on a good day, and the woman looked at me. She said, "I'll put 6 foot down," and I went, "All right."
She thought you were charming. Too bad she didn't know the real you.
Well, I do my best to keep that from a lot of people. And there's that Fisher back from Rubik.
Managed to get away, though. Wow. And we may see Storm Spirit here drop to a very dangerous Morphling. Actually caught, but stunned. Enigma stunned through his black hole. Again, doesn't have the finished BKB. And Enigma drops to that Dagon.
Very much back and forth right now. Storm Spirit, Morphling going after Windrunner. And we'll take her.
Ricky dropping. Ricky caught by Rubik.
Earthshaker.
This is a full wipe. Full wipe.
Good game, well played, go end. Well, that's kind of like I said, very much a turnaround from what we thought.
Well, it's not over yet. Honestly, they could technically defend this, but again, that's what I told you. That's Morphling. You can't let them farm, and if you do let them farm, push hard. They had this game. They could have won it, but they had to push a lot harder.
It looks like the Dire team no longer interested in making a match out of it.
Yeah, Enigma also went for that Blink Dagger first. I think that's a mistake in this game. There are so many stuns that the Radiant team has. He should have gotten the Black King bar first, and he would have been able to. If you look at the money value that he had early game, he would have been able to, thus securing him some early game kills, massive early game kills. But yeah, we're going to see a second set of racks drop here, actually.
I'm not entirely sure that the Dire is going to push back against this.
Are they just giving up?
Yeah, I think they are, yeah. Like they very much said, good game, well played. And Earthshaker not looking to engage. No, definitely looking to engage. Okay. Well, that's a bit cheeky.
I think that they have a chance here. I don't know why they're just giving up.
It's a bit cheeky to say good game, well played, and then pop back out. That's fair enough. Do what you can. Rubik, of course, being finished off there. Morphling, just not interested in retreating at all. He's going to take Windrunner down.
Whew.
And
Puck securing that kill there with the Dagon blast. This is why we watch Titanic Tuesday, though, right? Because there are lessons that can be learned here that you can utilize for your own game. For instance, when you play an Enigma, think about why you would get the Black King bar over getting the Blink Dagger. The Blink Dagger is definitely going to put you into that fight, and that's not a bad thing to have. But he had no protection for his black hole, and we saw that multiple times where he was interrupted right off the bat.
It's true. Well, that was a fun game to watch. It's a good one to come off TI3 with. 36 minutes on the button. 269 last hits, 35 denies for that Morphling. Really, I think I said it early in the game. He was turning into a runaway train, and you definitely concurred with me on that. And I think, kind of called it early.
Farming. What I called early there is, if Dire doesn't do this particular thing, this is what's going to happen, right? And you can kind of see that play out because of the responses by the Dire. The Dire had a really strong early game. Really strong. I mean, they were ahead by 15 kills, I think, at one point. And just let it slip away from them. Slipped away from their grasp. So, we usually do Darwin Awards and the MVP for the match. Who's your MVP for this match? Who was?
It's got to go to Morphling. Really, just kind of doing his job and getting it done. I'd say a close second for me was Puck. Really, on top of things, was there for some great dream coils, great mobility, getting around, and it's kind of funny. You take a look at the kill count here, 27-31 in favor of the Dire. This was not a kill-heavy match for the Radiant. But the kills that they did lock down it was some great teamwork between the entire team.
What is it that Lotus says? The only thing that matters is the throne.
Yep.
That's the only thing. The kills don't matter. It just matters who actually wins the game.
And that can be a $1.6 million decision, really. So that would be my choice. I turn it over to you. Your man of the match.
I think you had something with Puck there, and here's my reasoning. I was looking at Storm Spirit for a long time, and actually I do have somebody who's going to be a little bit different, but well, he lost it towards the end. I'll get there. Hold on. I'm not giving it to Storm Spirit because Storm Spirit was not playing with his team toward the end. He was going in on his own. He went in. He did some damage, and I kind of like the aggressiveness, but his team wasn't there yet, right? I really liked Earthshaker's play in this match. I thought that he was great up top in the laning phase. He was doing fantastic pulls. He was stacking the lane. That's awesome. That's awesome play from a support character. Then when it transitioned, he was able to get kills. I mean, he almost killed Morphelin on his own up top near that tower. That's so cool to watch somebody play a character who is mostly a support character and only has technically really spell damage to do that much and to do so well. But he gave up towards the end, and that frustrates me. Although he did jump in, he was the only one that jumped in, it still frustrates me, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that's why I would give it to Puck, because the other two, towards the end of the game, didn't work with their team, whereas Puck was consistently a team player, and that's important in a team game. You can't go off on your own, even in a public match. As much as these people may frustrate you, you have to stick with your team. Darwin Award. We know who gets it.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, but...
you can't feel bad for him. He's overextending, he's going off way too far, and it was silly. So it was very frustrating to watch him play, because you're right, he was constantly throwing himself beyond the range in which a Rubik can. He was doing it early game, he did it mid game, he did it late game.
I get the feeling that the reason he was trying to do it towards the later part of the game was so that he could actually put himself in position to steal some spells. Really, I think that's less important than staying alive. So it was tough to watch.
Yeah, it's better to not catch somebody and stay alive than to almost catch somebody but then to die outright. And he was dying in 2 hits to Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit would catch him, pull him back, right click, and then use his Q. Rubik's dead.
Yep.
Done deal. You fed a character, you almost lost the game for your team because you were feeding so much that Storm Spirit had all this far. So, anyway.
So there it is, our first match back from TI3. Massive turnaround, kind of fun to watch. Any final thoughts?
A couple final thoughts, yes. Thank you, everybody, for watching and all the support that you've been giving us. Maybe we should do a brain dump, actually, about TI3 and the different days that we had, because we just had so much fun. It's hard to explain it. We hope that if you watch the matches, either via Twitch or if you are also at TI3, that you'll share us kind of your thoughts as well. We had a little bit of that. We were trying to post as much as possible. I know 3PO was just constantly posting photos and pictures and things like that. We witnessed the longest Dota match in history in terms of professional Dota play, and that's really cool, even though it was incredibly boring. I know you've seen the Korean video, right, with the Korean casters.
I have, yeah. Well, I mean, we were practically doing that in our seats while we were there.
Yeah, so. I love the line where he's like, "It's like a library in here. Everybody's asleep." He was right. He's so right. Everyone was asleep. And then he goes, "They're mad because they've woken up from the nap and the match is still going on." It was like, oh, he's right about that. Really funny. So we may actually start casting like that, just yelling "bear" over and over again into the microphone.
That's the plan.
We're reevaluating how we're going to cast Dota from now on.
Yeah, we've got some fun pictures and some fun video as well, which was kind of great. And we'll get those posted fairly soon.
Yes, indeed. We will be here tomorrow night for Wednesday night team fights. We hope that you have a team ready for us. If anybody does out there, please let us cast. We'd love to watch your team go against another and set that up. If not, we're going to head in. We'll just find an actual team playing and watch them go against another team. So, cool.
There it is. All right, folks. Well, that was Titanic Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. I am 3PO.
And this is Stamos Lives.
We'll see you next time.
Take care, everybody.